Next location on the Castrol GTX Cup Series brings us to Martinsville Speedway in Martinsville, Virginia for stop number 32. On this series, we're here today for the running of the Goody's Fast Relief 500. 75 laps of action here today on this race on this 0.526 mile racetrack. As we go from the longest and the fastest, that was Talladega, which unfortunately ended under caution, and to the slowest track of them all, Martinsville. So let's see what happens here today as we're set for racing here today. Anyway, on the pole for today's event, it's Kyle Matthews, car 42, the Coors Light Pontiac. He won this season at Rockingham. He'll be alongside car number 7. It is Mike Becker sitting alongside, and I think it's his best start of the season, too, in the QVC Ford. Second row has Quentin Moore in car 75, and alongside of him, Phil Parker in car number 5. That's the second row. Row 3, we'll have the winner at Watkins Glen, Dylan Young in the Miller Ford number 2, and number 71, Kev Shearer. Both of them carry in-car cameras in today's event. Kyle Matthews, our pole sitter, by the way, carries our third one. Fourth row, we'll have Keith Batson in car 28, Texaco Haviland Ford. And beside him will be Charles Sanford, car 41, the Kodiak Chevrolet. His wins came in the Daytona 500, and he also won the night race at Bristol this season. Row 5 has Cole Deaver in the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet car number 3, winner this season at Atlanta and again at Cleveland on the road course there. And he'll be alongside number 11. It is Patrick Smith in the Lowe's Ford. Sixth row, we'll have Zachary Fitzwater in car 29 and number 16, two-time winner this season, Johnny Gardner. Wins this season came at Pocono and the second race at Dover. Next row down, we'll have Jonathan Zorlin, number 44, the Phoenix Chevrolet, coming fresh off of a second-place run at Talladega. And he'll be alongside Becca Tellier in the Valvoline Ford, car number 6. The next row down, we'll have a three-time winner this season. That's Paul Minnick, excuse me. He won this season at Bristol, the first race at Bristol. He also won at the Dodge Motor Dome, and he also won at Talladega, the last race on the tour, the second Talladega stop. He'll be alongside number 81. It is Nick Baxter alongside, 18 on the inside and 18 backwards on the outside. Next row down, we'll have Jason Hayway, winner of the Southern 500 down in Darlington, and Ashlyn Boyd in number 9 will be sitting alongside. Next row down has Kat Batson, number 80, the Quality Gear Service Ford Credit Ford. Three-time winner this season for her, and she'll be alongside Dylan Poteet, number 22, the MB&A Pontiac. Next row down has Shane Lake in car number 17, the Western Auto Parts America Chevrolet, and number 10, the Tide Ford of Ryan Acosta. Next row down, we'll have William Brock in car number 4, the winner this season at California, and number 15, Preston Dive Bomb City Plord on the outside. Next row down, we'll have car number 25. It's Kyle Langland. And beside him, another red car. That's number 8, Glenn Duhit. Next row down, we'll have car number 77, Chelsea Bowles in the Jasper Engines Ford. And number 98, the RCA Ford of Max Anderson. Next row down, we'll have Audra Baranowskis in car number 30, the Pennzoil Pontiac. And another Pontiac, the Hooters Pontiac car number 1 of Alexander Rowe. And Rowe has come off a tremendous run at Talladega as well. Next row down has Joshua Osborne, car 37, the former points leader of this season, by the way. He has a two-time winner this season. He won at North Wilkesboro, where we'll be heading to next on the schedule for the Holly Farms 400. He also won the Brickyard 400 in Indianapolis this season as well, and currently second place in the points right now in a 37 car. Beside him will be the Coca-Cola 600 champion, number 23, Ryan George. Next row down, we'll have car 87, Jack Lagacy, and number 19, J.C. Turner. Next row down after that will be car 43, Joshua Collard, winner this season at the second Michigan race and the second Richmond event. He'll be alongside J.T. Bryant in car number 12. He also had a good run at Talladega. Next row down is Jordan Lopez in number 90 and number 24, Michael Whitman. And the next row down after that, next to the last row, will be two of our points contenders, Levi McIntyre, 5-time winner this season. He is also the current points leader coming into this event as well. He just took it away from Osborne at Talladega. And beside him will be a 4-time winner, Jessica Shelton, who in both these drivers usually run excellent at Martinsville too. Usually do. But they'll have to work their way to the front this time.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Commands them again in the front of the engines as we get some racing here today. So McIntyre and Shelton's got a long ways to go to work to the front. They got plenty of time to do it. 75 laps to do it. And starting the shotgun in the field will be the number 33 card of the Las Vegas winner, Al Lagasse, will sit alongside. So if things stay status quo, if things by any chance stay status quo after this race, we will see a huge, and I mean a huge, shakeup in the points race, because the man who sits in this race comes in this race sitting fourth in the standings, just taking fourth place away from Joshua Card, is Keith Batson. He could be in the driver's seat to gain a whole lot of points and make it about a 4, maybe possibly a 5-man chase, 5-driver chase for the championship. And here comes and the green flag is out. We are underway here at Martinsville. All these questions will be answered in 75 laps. Quentin Moore to the inside of Mike Becker, looking for the number 2nd position as Kyle Matthews is pulled ahead to the front. Dylan Young also trying to make a move for 2nd position for 3rd position, excuse me. As Kyle Matthews leads the first lap of the event, for first lap tied at 86.914 miles an hour. They'll be doing laps at about they'll be doing laps up in the 90 mile an hour range. Whereas last race on the Tour of Talladega we were doing 205 in the draft. But there's no such thing as a draft on the short track, at least not to my knowledge there is, but in fact I'm pretty sure of it. But anyway, Dylan Young, you're looking at him right now running in 4th position at the moment as he is running right behind the cars of Quentin Moore and Mike Becker on board Dylan Young's car. 3 Fords chasing a Pontiac in the 1st position. That's Kyle Matthews out in front. The winner this season at Rockingham, where we'll be heading to 2 races from now for the AC Delco 400. And that race before that will be, as we said, North Wilkesboro for the Holly Farms 400. So we got 2 straight on the short track and 2 straight on a 1-miler, which is Rockingham and Phoenix, and then, or what's now ISM Raceway. And then before we get to the finale at Homestead Miami Speedway, which will always be the always exciting Ford EcoBoost 400. As we watch Dylan Young running in 4th position, Keith Batson currently right now running in 5th. Keith, a fine short track racer in his own right. In fact, did some dirt track racing himself, I think, or short track racing up in his native state of Maine. As he comes off the 2nd turn here, battle for 6th position between Phil Parker, Charles Sanford, and Cole Deaver, and throw Kev Shearer in that mix as well. That's 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th on your screen. Sanford holds off Deaver for the moment now as Phil Parker takes 6th position away in number 5. And that's Sanford in 2nd position, which is in 7th position. 8th is Deaver. 9th is Shearer in number 71. Inside Kev Shearer's car. He's in here as we running right there behind the Cole Deaver machine, number 3. As we said, Deaver, a winner this season at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the 4th race of the season. And also winner at the midpoint of the season at the Burke Lakefront Airport in Cleveland, where we'll be heading to again. I think we'll be heading there again next season for season 20. We got some new tracks actually lined up for next season as well that will replace some of the tracks. In fact, Arizona Speedway will replace Las Vegas in a kind of a experiment try for the season. And if that doesn't work, then we'll head back to Vegas. So. Anyway, Johnny Gardner running in 10th position at the moment. Number 16 running 11th is Zachary Fitzwater. Nick Baxter running in 12th, having a good day today. So is Jonathan Zorlin in 13th. Zorlin was the pole sitter at Talladega, and actually, as I said, he could come in, I think, 2nd in that event. So to Paul Minnick in that race. So Zorlin had a great day at Talladega, and he's having a good day again here at Martinsville, by his standards at least. Patrick Smith running in 14th. 15th is taking 15th right now is Jason Haywood as he and Becca Tellier and Kat Betson, 3 of the KAB cars, running. See where they're clocked at this time by as Tellier goes inside of Haywood. Tellier 15th, Haywood 16th, and Batson running 17th. Kat Batson, that is. But most of you know that Keith is actually, but little they know, Keith's actually having a top 5 run right now at the moment in 5th position. Shane Lake who actually was fast in practice, actually fell off in qualifying, is running in 18th position right now. 19th is Paul Minnick. 20th was William Brock. 21st is Ryan Acosta. 22nd, Kyle Langland. Ashlyn Boyd's 23rd. 24th is Audra Baranowskis. Joshua Osborne has worked his way up in the 25th position, but now it's caught up in the high side now as Chelsea Bowles goes inside in number 77. Bowles falls back inside of Osborne. And she'll make another try again, I would imagine. But as they come out of the turn, Bowles is 26 right now. 27th is Poteet. 28th is Legacy. 29th is Joshua Collard, who now has dropped to 5th in the points after Talladega. As you see Max Anderson going by, and that's 29th position. You see right there on your screen. Jesse Turner is running in 31st at the moment, and he's having a horrific run here today, unfortunately for him. To see him right there as he tries to hold off Preston Plord. Plord's 32nd. 33rd is Alexander Rowe. 34th is Lopez. 35th is Duhit. 36th is Legacy. Then Michael Whitman's 37th. 38th is Ryan George. And JT Bryant taking position from Jessica Shelton. That's 39th. Shelton, unfortunately for her, running 40th. And 41st is the points leader Levi McIntyre. So those two, I think, definitely have missed a setup here today at Martinsville. Like I said, it's unusual for those two because both McIntyre and Shelton usually both run good at usually both run excellent, and usually right up there where Kyle Matthews is at right now, leading the race. And Matthews in desperate need of points himself as well. He comes in this race, I think, 6th in the standings coming in, along with Charles Sanford. So Matthews and Sanford having runs that they need right now. Running 1st and 9th at the moment. Like I said, trying to get themselves back into at least contention for a top 5 in the standings here. So some interesting stories here happening, as we said, at Martinsville, as we're now already coming up on 20 laps in the books, and we'll still have 55 to go, so plenty of racing left to go. But unfortunately for Levi McIntyre and Jessica Shelton, I mean, they have been having. They definitely missed the setup. They were slow in practice, slow in qualifying, so they were hoping to get it together for the race itself. And so you kind of wonder if they either missed the setup or had some bad mechanical problems or what have you. But as they come off the 4th turn right now, Matthews is up on the back of Shelton's bumper. Oh, baby. And Matthews, meanwhile, gets a bump and run done to him by Quentin Moore. And Moore was going to take the lead at number 75, but Matthews pulls up at the outside of the track. Let's see what happens going in the 3rd turn here as Moore pulls inside at 75, and he's going to take the lead from Kyle Matthews. So Quentin Moore led that lap, but Matthews, look at that crossover move. So some good racing happening for the lead here as the Shelton and McIntyre trying to keep from going a lap down. Now they're 2 by 2 as Mike Becker and Dylan Young go side by side. Keith Batson watching all this from 5th position. And now they get underneath Shelton to get by her. And Quentin Moore actually slammed the door on Dylan Young at the same time, so trying for 2nd position. So Moore's going to keep 2nd. Young's going to go to 3rd. And whoa. Quentin Moore almost dive-bombed it on Kyle Matthews going into turn number 1. And that's another place that's good for Martinsville's good for is dive bombs and going in turn, especially whether it's for the leader or it's just simply for position. So our leaders in the points, McIntyre and Shelton, have both gone a lap down, unfortunately for them. And like I said, it's strange because they usually both do excellent at Martinsville, usually. And in fact, Shelton was going for the Martinsville sweep, having won this race back in the first visit there. But unfortunately for her, that may not happen unless something goes terribly awry with the rest of the field. So Kyle Matthews right now in the 42 car has lead for the moment as we go on board Kyle Matthews' car. Let's take a ride lap around with him. And you see the tachometer down about 4,500 through the second and third turns. And up to about 8,700 going into turn number 3. So they can tell they got the tachometer set up pretty conservative for a track like this. Usually at Martinsville, you usually see about well over 9,000 going into the turns. And remember back in the days when 9,000 RPMs was considered blowing up. So, I mean, nowadays 9,000 RPMs is just nothing. Matthews coming up on the lap traffic there with JT Bryant in the 12 car. There he is. He and Ryan George riding this mix of cars. Moore still second position. Third is still Dylan Young. Fourth is right now Keith Batson. Phil Parker up to fifth position. Sixth is now Cole Deaver. Kev Shear seventh. Charles Sanford eighth. Mike Becker's dropped to ninth. In 10th position right now is Johnny Gardner. Riding now with Kev Shears. He's still trying to get around Cole Deaver in the 3 car. And Kev Shear also has our front bumper cam. You see right there, and that'll provide some tremendous shots here at Martinsville. I see him trying to pull up in the back of the back bumper of Cole Deaver's car, but Deaver right now has got the horsepower in that number 3 GM Goodwrench Chevy as he tries to close up on Phil Parker in the 5 car. And now, meanwhile, Matthews has caught up to the lap traffic. Meanwhile, as the interval has closed up between he and Quentin Moore. As Moore's having trouble trying to get around the 23 car of Ryan George. And meantime, Matthews having trouble with the 12 car of JT Bryant. So a handful of lap traffic to bear here at Martinsville Speedway. And lap traffic has cost drivers victories before here, and in fact almost cost them a few times. As they come down to the third and fourth turns, Moore comes to the inside of Matthews right now. This is for the lead. But Matthews says, nuh-uh, as now they come down in the turn number 1. And Quentin Moore moves Matthews up the track again. Here comes Quentin Moore for the lead. He's going to come off turn number 2. But Matthews says the outside lane was an advantage, and he and Moore almost touched going in the third turn. And Quentin Moore's going to take the lead, number 75, and he'll lead that lap. Quentin Moore has not won in a long time in this series. I think since back to season 15 or 16, something in that range when he last won over at Michigan. And so, meantime, Quentin Moore has pulled away from the Matthews, or at least for the moment he has, and now Matthews now sets up in the back bumper of Quentin Moore's car, number 75. You usually don't see many lead changes at Martinsville, if any, but we've seen a couple of them already. And only 2 drivers have led, and that's been the 75 of Quentin Moore and the man whom you're riding with right now, the 42 of Kyle Matthews. We told you Kev Shear is our back bumper, our front bumper cam. Well, this man has our back bumper cam. That's Kyle Matthews. As he is now looking back at there, another one of our camera cars, Dylan Young. Fast lap of the race so far being held by Phil Parker at just under 90, as he and Charles Sanford both just under 93 miles an hour, 92.9 for both cars to be exact. In fact, all 10 of our cars that has the fastest lap has run over 92 miles per hour. So the top three cars right together, Moore, Matthews, and Young. That's the top three. Keith Batson still running in fourth position, number 28, Texaco Haviland Ford. And with Matthews and Batson both up there in the race right now, combined with the fact that Shelton and McIntyre both having just all kinds of problems with their cars, that could allow Batson, guys like Batson and Matthews, to close up on the front threesome of McIntyre, Osborne, and Shelton in the points. And like I said, trying to make it trying to make it a race out of it for the championship. But right now, Kyle Matthews losing another spot, this time to Dylan Young, as they battle for second position right now. Keith Batson trying to go up underneath, trying to dive up underneath Matthews right now, see which lane he wants to pick. 30 laps to go right now at Martinsville, so it's been a smooth race so far, and so slowing these cars down has really helped a bunch. Previous races there has been a wreck fest at Martinsville, like it was back in the first race there. And Matthews just squeezing in between Dylan Young and Keith Batson. Wow. Short track racing at its best here at Martinsville Speedway. And meantime, Dylan Young is trying to close up on Quentin Moore for the lead. So instead of what was a 2-car race for the lead, it's now become a 4-car race for the lead, possibly a 4-car race now, as Young tries to close up on the 75 car. Now Moore's up on the high side. Here comes Young to the inside. Nothing doing at the moment as they're having problems getting around the 33 of Al Lagasse. Lagasse is a surprise winner over at Las Vegas this season. As they come out the fourth turn, Dylan Young. What's he going to do with the Quentin Moore car? Riding with Dylan Young in number 2. And Dylan Young also has our roof cam on the car. And here comes Young to the inside. Moore slips up high now. And Dylan Young dives inside for the lead. And does he lead this lap? No, he does not. Quentin Moore does by just a smidgen at the stripe. And how close was that? 12,000th of a second at the stripe between the front 2 cars. But now Moore's going to go up the high side again. Young goes back inside. Let's see if Moore's got the roll again off the 4th turn. Not this time. Young becomes our 3rd leader of the day. And that's our 3rd lead change. But now this is letting Kyle Matthews back in contention. Here comes... Oh, look at that move by Quentin Moore. 75 to the inside. Young had to lead for the moment, but now Moore comes back on the inside. Crossover move. And takes position back like we saw Kyle Matthews do to Moore earlier today. And now you got the front 5 separating together. Another side-by-side again going to the 3rd turn. Moore goes on the curbing a bit. As the yellow flag flies for the first time here today at Martinsville, and I don't know what for. And it appears it was Ryan Acosta in the 10 car that's got problems with his machine. So caution free in the first 52 laps, and we have a caution on the 53rd lap as they come off turn number 4. And it was Ryan Acosta get tapped from behind by the 25 of Kyle Langland. And Acosta hits the inside retaining wall and spins right in front of traffic just about. And it's the Osborne going by, Jack Lagasse, Chelsea Bowles all going by. So really no harm, no foul with the 10 car. And 10 car's got some problems, and he's apparently that's knocked him out of the race. Yep, he just parked his car and just said, "Screw you guys, I'm going home." So anyway, we were having a heck of a battle for the lead, by the way, too, between the 275 and 42 cars. I mean, that was some great racing here today so far. So the pace car lights are off as we get set for green flag racing. It'll be on lap number 59. Where we'll get this back underway. Lap cars on the inside of JT Bryant, Ryan George, and our championship leader, Levi McIntyre, and third in the points, Jessica Shelton, who right now sit 39th and 40th at the moment. And I tell you what, Levi and Jess is not going to be happy with their runs at all today. In fact, I'm pretty sure they won't be. But anyway, Dylan Young gets the restart he needs on lap number 59, and that's left Quentin Moore and Kyle Mendes both hung on the outside of the track here, and Young's now pulled to a very substantial advantage right now. Oh, and we're yellow flag again. And this time it's William Brock in number 4, so caution number 2 flying for today. What is that saying? Cautions breed cautions. And sometimes they, and sometimes on a short track, one caution can manifest itself into another. And this problem manifested on the front stretch here, as you see William Brock gets tapped from behind, but I think that was the 19 car. And then he comes back, hits the 77 of Chelsea Bowles, and several cars, whoa. Yeah, and there's where Jesse Turner crashed, and there Michael Whitman gets involved in the 24 car. Yeah, the 4 car actually got tapped by the third. Well, it appears to be the 30 of Audra Baranowskis. And it was the 30 car. Baranowskis that turned the 4 car around. And good driving by who is that? Both Kat Batson and Al Lagacy that both avoided the 4 car. I mean, did some great driving by those cars. So Brock and Whitman now both out of the race here. So good news for Levi and Jesse will not finish in the 40s here today. But still, like I said, whatever. So caution number 2 is about to wrap up here at Martinsville Speedway as Dylan Young and leads the race here. Second is Quentin Moore. Third is Kyle Matthews. Fourth is Keith Batson. Fifth is Phil Parker. Green flag back out on lap 65. We'll have 11 laps to go. And we're in the yellow for the 3rd time today. Yeah. And Dylan Young's now caught up in traffic now as he's now passed the several cars here. Young almost spins, looks like. Boy, things went so well in the first 52 laps, and now ever since then we've had nothing but cautions now. Yep, just as the pace car was getting ready to park it, though, we had a car spin. So yeah. Yep, and it was a 21-6 that got together on the restart there. So apparently now suddenly people don't even know how to drive on the restarts now. As Becca Tellier got turned by I think it was the 18 of Paul Minnick, and then she almost got a piece of the crash by the almost got a piece of it by the 41 car of Alexander Rupp, but then she gets hit by Glenn Dew hitting the 8. And a clutch problem has knocked the 17 of Shane Lake out of the race, and Kyle Matthews is in the pits, and he's going to drop way back. Oh, and Kyle Matthews, who was getting ready to make up a lot of points in quest to be right up there, back up there for the championship, and he is driving like a man possessed coming through traffic. I don't know what the heck's going on here. And Kev Shearer's apparently not happy with Mike Becker. He rear ends him. So a heartbreaker for Kyle Matthews, who was actually right up there in the top 5, getting ready to make up a lot of points for the championship, and now suddenly it's going to drop way back now. But nonetheless, so Dylan Young is out in front. We're getting ready to restart on lap 72. Let's try this again on the restart and hope we get green flag racing all 3 laps. I hope 4 laps, whichever. As the green flag is back out, we're back underway here at Martinsville. Here, 4 laps to go. Off turn number 4 they come, so no yellow flag this time on this whole ordeal. Dylan Young out in front, and Phil Parker also been a pit stop, by the way. So he also has fell out of contention. He is in 31st position at the moment. So it's Young leading. Keith Batson's now second. Third is Charles Sanford, and Mike Becker's fourth, and fifth is Kev Shearer. As we're now down to 2 laps to go, so Dylan Young, unless something happens to his car, is going to apparently pull this one off here at Martinsville. It'll be his second victory of the season in the car, appropriately numbered 2. As they come off turn number 4, as Dylan Young takes the white flag, he has 1 lap to go in the Goody's Fast Relief 500. Comes through the first and second turns. The lap car of Jonathan Zorlin will not be a factor as they come up the second turn. And in the third turn they come. The number 2, Miller Ford, rounds the 4th corner. And it'll be Dylan Young winning the Goody's Fast Relief 500 at Martinsville. Dylan Young in the number 2 Miller Genuine Draft Ford takes the victory here today. Keith Batson, a great day for him, finishing again second in today's event. Third will go to Charles Samper. 4th position to Mike Becker. 5th to Kev Shearer. 6th Cole Deaver. Zachary Fitzwater comes home in 7th position. 8th will go to Johnny Gardner. 9th position to Nick Baxter. And 10th position to Jason Haywood. And there's got to be one disappointed man there, Kyle Matthews, who was right up there in the top 5 all race long, only to fall prey to problems in this race. Their average speed 75.303, and 3 caution flags within a span of like about 10, 15 laps, whichever the heck it was. But So Dylan Young, who won the season on the road course at Watkins Glen, takes on the victory here today at Martinsville. I think it's his second victory on this racetrack, too, as a matter of fact. Second of the season, I know that. But anyway, rest of the finishing order, Patrick Smith finishes 11th in car number 11. 12th to Paul Minnick. Audra Baranowski's 13th. Kyle Langland, 14th. A good day for him. Ashlyn Boyd, 15th. Jack Legacy. Joshua Osborne comes home with a 17th place run. So he had a... So he helps himself points-wise, and I think they should give him the lead back over Levi McIntyre, as a matter of fact. So Osborne helped himself points-wise. Max Anderson, 18th. 19th to Dylan Poteet. Preston Plord, 20th. 21st, Joshua Collard. 22nd, Jesse Turner. 23rd, Alexander Rowe. 24th, Becca Tellier. Jordan Lopez, 25th. 26th position will go to Al Legacy. Quentin Moore, who had a great day going on, ends up finishing 27th. He also had problems, as did Phil Parker in 28th. 29th, Glenn Duhit. 30th, Jonathan Zorlin. He was the last finisher in today's event. Ryan George and JT Bryant both out of the race for some unexplained reason. Chelsea Bowles, 33rd. 34th, Levi McIntyre, not what he wanted. 35th, Kyle Matthews, who was the pulsar, had a dominant car, had a top 5 run going, looked like he was going to pick up a lot of points, and suddenly it falls down for him. He was 35th. Jessica Shelton, a heartbreaker for her, 36th. Kat Batson, 37th. 38th, Shane Lake because of a clutch problem. Then William Brock, Michael Whitman, and Ryan Acosta, the rest of the cars in the finishing order. So, average speed, 75.303. Dylan Young takes his second victory of the season as he wins here today at Martinsville. And we'll go to another short track of the season. They'll be at North Wilkesboro Speedway in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, in the Brushy Mountains for the Tyson Holly Farms 400. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel, like us on Facebook and everything else here, and become part of the team here in the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything. We got NRS's gaming videos. We're the president of the NNSCRA Seth Coldestars First channel. And please be sure to check out Seth's Tech Layer Truck Series, Pizza Hut X Series, and Hershey's Cup Series. Please be sure to check those races out, and you will not regret checking them out there, and because some of the best races you'll find in offline racing are right here in the NNSCRA. So that's the story from Martinsville Speedway. We'll see you at North Wilkesboro. And for now, this is James Qualls, who's doing production of the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best.